I have finally done it. I've put together the ultimate 164cc build for the Honda Trail 125, and I've tested it to the nth degree. The bike works absolutely perfectly, and it's super reliable. Today I want to detail all the parts I put on, and how I've adjusted all the different components. I also will be showing all the testing results over the next couple of videos. Today I'll be showing you how fast the bike could go in a tucked position. To do this build, the total cost was $1,572.73 minus shipping, so you'd have to add shipping for any of those components, and required 17 upgrades in order to make it happen. Here I have them listed from most expensive at the top, which is your exhaust system, to the least expensive, which is this NGK spark plug. For most of these components, I will have a video link embedded. They should appear in the upper right hand corner of your screen. I don't have a video for the 28mm big throttle body kit, the N15 Sports camshaft, and the crankshaft support adapter. Let's first talk about this sport exhaust from Takagawa. The awesome thing about this exhaust is that it looks almost exactly like the stock exhaust, except it is stainless steel instead of black metal. All of the guards work just as the original, and so it very much looks like a stock look. Please see the video link above for a full review of that sport exhaust. The second most expensive component was a 28mm big throttle body kit from Takagawa. Without that, you really can't pump enough air into the piston and cylinder. See the link for this Optman multimeter. Great piece of kit, gives you RPM, temperature, as well as true speed. Next we have the 164cc light bore-up kit from Kitako. This Kitako kit is really nice. It has oil ports and very robust. Then we have the S oil cooler kit from Kitako as well. Definitely drops the temperature of that engine by a significant amount. Following that, we have the Mini 3 air-fuel ratio meter, really a must if you're going to be doing any sort of tuning, something that gives you a fairly good idea of where your air-fuel ratio is, or at least a relative position on that. The N15 Sports camshaft, you need to have a higher profile camshaft just to pump more air into the piston and cylinder as you get to larger bore sizes. The crankshaft support adapter helps with higher RPM vibration and also the extra weight that your piston is going to be running as you go to a big bore kit. A super oil pump kit will pump more oil, which adds to the cooling capacity as well as allowing it to support an oil cooler. You have a power filter. This is just a way to get more air into the engine. The stock air filter is a little bit restrictive. A 220cc special fuel injector. This guy is super critical. I think the biggest problem that I ran into was correct fueling, and that was almost always not being able to pump enough fuel into the piston and cylinder for my setups, which led me to burn up a whole bunch of pistons. Next, a reinforced clutch spring set. As you get higher torque values from your engine, as you tune it, you're going to have a tendency to slip out. So having a reinforced clutch spring set helps alleviate that. I put in all the springs. I think I'm going to reduce the number of springs from 6 to 3. It's a little bit harder to shift with that clutch spring set in, and I think that would make it ideal. Next, you have an electronic fuel injection enhancer device. This guy is really great. It simulates what a proper or more expensive fuel controller would do, but very, very inexpensively. I have this guy set up at 250 millivolts, which is the correct setting for my motorcycle. I also changed the front sprocket to a 15-tooth front sprocket from the 14th tooth as stock. Have had no problems with any sort of errors from the ECU giving me improper ABS settings, and it gives the bike longer legs. I do have a drain bolt with a magnet on it to collect any extra debris, kind of an extra there. A crankcase cover gasket. When you take off the right side or the left side for that matter, you'll need to replace the cover gaskets, and then finally an NGK spark plug to round it all out. I have the part number for all these components over here in column A. I purchased most of these from either WeBike or Monkey Bike World. WeBike is in Japan, Monkey Bike World is in Australia. I bought the 220cc per minute fuel injector from Yamanashi. And I think I bought the Mini 3 air fuel ratio meter off of Amazon. And I may have gotten this JT sprockets from eBay. Okay, finally do the fun stuff. Let's go out and test this. Okay, here's the first high-speed test with full tuck. See how we do. Get up to speed first here. slow on the bike like this, you'll get maybe a little bit of a cramp. She definitely goes unstable. Yeah, I don't like it. Maybe I'll do this instead. Get a little weight over that front tire. See the speedometer myself, but that's it. Pulling off of it. It's a pretty hot day out. I would say it's 85 or 86 degrees. I'll find out when I get back home exactly what that temperature is. All right, green light. Shift. It's definitely my fault there. The new clutch, those new clutch springs, I guess the new clutch springs, they're a little bit stiff. Makes it a lot harder to shift on this thing. Makes a big difference. I may be pulling out a few of those springs, maybe go from 6 of them on the high strength down to 3 or 2 even. Definitely doesn't slip anymore, which is really what we were fighting against last time. Kind of see how fast we get here, maximum speed, just to compare with full tuck type position. That's about it. You can see that tucking gives you about 3 miles per hour. Not a huge amount, not worth the wobble. Kind of expected since we're now limited by RPM and torque curves. That speed wobble was pretty funky. In the next video, I'm gonna give you fuel economy at 45 miles per hour. And the video after that, we're gonna do fuel economy at wide open throttle. So look for those next videos in the next week or two. Hey, have you subscribed?